We are Crossing the Nerdverse, bringing you yet another episode. My name is Travis. I'm joined, as always, by my fantastic co hosts, James and Ryan. We are going to be short Eric this week as he is experiencing internet troubles. He will probably be watching from YouTube. But yeah, welcome. We're finally going to continue our month of Star Wars a couple of weeks late
Yeah.
after some technical difficulties and delays and sicknesses and
Oh yeah,
life in general.
our May lineup has been an absolute nightmare, man.
The last 2 months have been rough between people having illnesses or emergencies or technical
Technical failures.
issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're back on track. This week we're going to be talking about From Page to Screen for Star Wars. So basically novels, comic book arcs that we would like to see made into TV shows, movies, uh, just general more media for all of us here as Star Wars fans. But first, we'll do our round table of news. Who
Sweet.
wants to go first?
I'll take this one since it opens up on this in the May. So the first thing I want to talk about was Mandalorian and Grogu. As everybody's aware, it finally hit theaters and is actually doing very, very well. It was kind of met with mediocre and lukewarm responses from most of the critics, but the fans have been very receptive to it, giving it an A rating on most cinema score kind of setups. For $165 million to produce, it grossed $163 million worldwide on its opening weekend and earning $100 million domestically over the 4-day Memorial holiday. I think it's doing really well. I haven't actually had a chance to see it yet, but I do very much plan on it. But I am happy to see that it has had such a warm reception amongst the fan base.
The plan was for Bones and I to go watch it, but Lon didn't want to watch two movies back to back, so
Yeah,
we
Fair
we
enough.
opted for just Mortal Kombat, which, by the way, fantastic.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a good time with the new Mortal Kombat film. Was skeptical at first of Carl Urban being Johnny Cage. I think it was really well done,
Excellent.
and the actor who played Kato is still just top tier. Like, he's so good for that role.
Oh, that was the best casting in the original one, you ask my opinion, too.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's not even close.
But yeah, so did that. I did find something quite kind of interesting when I started looking at the charts and how Mandalorian and Grogu actually did. And so it has been topping the charts. It's getting a lot of attention. However, it actually marked the lowest opening weekend for a Star Wars movie to ever come out, coming in even behind Solo, a Star Wars story. Despite being on top of the charts, which I find very, very curious.
I wonder if it's just a low time for theater, like
That's what I'm thinking as well.
moviegoers.
I'm thinking that the theater's just not bringing in like it used to. For my other set of movie news, and that's where I'll kind of live for a second, I wanted to bring up everybody's attention to the new Steven Spielberg UFO film that was announced, Disclosure Day, which I won't say too much about it. It's still in the early kind of releases, but there is a trailer that's released, and I encourage everybody to go check it out. I'm a huge Steven Spielberg fan, and this one looks like it's going to be fantastic. But with that little teaser and talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu, I will pass the baton over.
My point of news is a little bit of contentiousness from the CEO of Sony, who decided to announce that Sony will not be making single player games
Whoa.
for PC anymore. They're still gonna make
That's
multiplayer games for PC, but not
just,
single player.
Just
huh.
giving up on money, huh?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. I mean, I guess the majority of the PC money is coming in from multiplayer games and massive multiplayer zone games with things like Call of Duty, but that's ooh man, I find that very surprising.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna stick to their guns on that or not. Whatever, some guy talking, but uh, it seems kind of silly to me to be like, we're not doing it for single player games, but we're going to do it for multiplayer games so that we can have a player base for those. Because you're just saying you don't have a good enough player base for multiplayer games to be worth it to
Yeah,
not do it.
I
And then
wonder
you're
if
that's
like,
it's
oh,
an
so
attempt
strange.
to drive up console sales more.
It could
could
just be
be.
Question
lighting
mark.
lighting fires to see how it looks like after he says it. Like, let's look at the public outcry and see what they have to say about single player games.
Very well could be.
I don't know. It kind of feels like an artifact of the console wars to me, where it's just somebody going out there and hitting buttons. You know what I mean?
Just Just throwing stuff at the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah. Well, it's the same. We've all played games that had the sales drive because of the meta, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
you've had some weapon released or a new class released for the game you were playing that absolutely dominated multiplayer for 2 weeks, and then they patch it, after everybody had to buy it in order to keep their rankings up.
My nerdy news isn't quite so drastic. New 007 game dropped this week to very positive reviews. It has almost 3,000 reviews currently on Steam, sitting on a very positive rating. I've watched enough trailers and gameplay that I think I might be picking this one up. It looks very good. Gives you kind of the origin story of James Bond and his transition from the regular MI6 program into the 00 program. So
yeah,
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna pick it up from somewhere.
yeah, I'm sure James is gonna have that game.
And if it's good, then I'll pay money for it.
No, it has,
and
but it does. It looks really, really good.
it looks very good. The gameplay looked good. The voice acting on it sounded amazing from what I've heard. So
Well, and it didn't have a lot of.
Fan Expo is in Denver this weekend, so I'm going to that. Gonna go get me some Dirk Gently Elijah Wood signature. That's what I'm hoping for. Got to find me some Dirk Gently art.
Heck yeah, heck.
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
That show is still super confusing. I need to finish the rest of it because I need to know what the creepy anarchist people are doing. I could care less about any of the murder mystery part. I'm like, there's these people in the van that I need answers for.
What's called the Crazy Three or something like that.
Yeah,
there's 4 of them.
Dread 3, and there's like 4. I think there was 4.
There's 4 of
I was
them.
like, I thought there was 5.
For anybody interested in what they're talking about, we are talking about Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, which if you have not checked it out, you absolutely should.
I'm not saying you should take recreational material when you watch it, but I'm not going to tell you no.
It's not going to hurt.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt anything. Yeah.
Oh man.
But with that, my second piece of news is Space Marine 2 got another big patch and update. So massive updates to Siege mode for those of you that are still playing Space Marine 2. Lots of hot fixes on that one. They released a new chapter skin for the Iron Hands for the Tech Marine class, which shocker.
Yeah.
The Sons of Ferrus Manus got the Tech Marine. And then what was some of the other new operation called Purgation. So
on the subject of the Warhammer IP and Warhammer 40k games, there was an announcement for Dawn of War 4. There is a huge fan base out there that played the first 3 games. It is the birthplace of the Blood Ravens and a huge segment of what eventually became lore for the Orcs, the Tau, and many other factions. So Dawn of War 4 is a major one coming out that is getting a lot of attention. It did release a new trailer, so
yeah, more Warhammer stuff.
More Warhammer stuff.
You're not gonna have me upset.
Honestly, the one I'm still most excited about is got to be Total War 40k. I think that's definitely my top one.
I mean, anything that gives me more Space Marines or Space Wolves, I should say.
Right.
But with that, we're going to be talking about again page to screen Star Wars stuff. Who wants to go first? I think we've all picked a different.
Yeah, without Eric coming in tonight, we're in an interesting position. So for those of you that are just joining us or maybe just tuning into the podcast at this moment, tonight we are doing page to screen. This is going to be a running opinion piece as we all kind of present our cases here. What we're doing is we're looking at Star Wars stories from legends and comic books and non-canon or semi-canon sources that we would like to see get kind of the Favreau treatment, right? Coming out with new movies or television shows in order to explain the story. A lot of us dive pretty deep into this. I know this is something Eric has been excited about. I'm sure he's lamenting missing it tonight.
As he watches from YouTube like a
dork. Screaming at the screen to have us say the right stuff. I guess I will open it up. With that kind of explanation, I went over a massive amount of material. I didn't know where I was going to land. Legends in Star Wars covers such a massive volume of material and stories and writing, from novels to comic books to video games to everything. And the one that I picked kind of came on the tail end of things like Andor and Mandalorian, because I'm one of those like high heretics, I guess, when it comes to Star Wars, that I enjoy the stories about non-Jedi crap a lot more than the main arcs. And
Trillions of people in the galaxy.
yeah,
I would
we're
like to
gonna
see more than the same 6 people.
in more planets other than Tatooine, like that'd be cool. Um, and so I considered a lot of things, and I narrowed it down to 2 after a lot of deliberation, and I was agonizing over it. And then before the show, Travis told me what he wanted to do, and I went, "Great, that makes my decision." So I would like to see, and I think for my pitch on this one, I'm going to go more for probably a mini series, like we've seen come out for several types of stuff recently, like an 8 or 9 episode kind of run, similar to what we saw from like Fallout or Spider-Man Noir. I want to do Apocalypse Endor. And so Apocalypse Endor originally appeared in Star Wars Tales number 14. It was collected in Star Wars Tales Volume 4 and the Star Wars Legends Epic Collection, The New Republic Volume 1. It's kind of a one-off short story. The comic book and the main story takes place as a story being told through flashbacks from an ex-Imperial conscript, so stormtrooper, that is suffering from PTSD really bad. He's kind of tucked himself away into the forgotten sections of the world
Because of space teddy bears.
because of space teddy bears. And that's kind of what the whole story is about, is dissolving this illusion that the Ewoks were this really cuddly, cute, vulnerable species, which anybody that's watched whatever Return already knows how vicious these things can be.
They eat people.
They eat people, yeah. So the way that I would like to see this one kind of set up again is maybe an 8 or 9 episode miniseries, and really dive into the life of an Imperial stormtrooper near the end of the Empire's reign. I'm thinking around the construction of Death Star 2, um, obviously with the setting of this particular story. And what it is it's effectively Apocalypse Now meets Predator, is kind of how I would describe the story. It's very, very Vietnam movie, right? Fortunate Son playing in the background, a bunch of scouts, small team tactics moving through dense forests and jungles. And throughout the deal, it's just a story about the unbelievable tactics and the absolute horrors that the Imperial conscripts and stormtroopers encountered during their initial emplacement on the moon of Endor. The Ewoks are a vicious and very capable species, making great use of primitive technologies and traps, and as Travis pointed out, very much known for capturing, cooking, and eating people.
I ate a stormtrooper to gain its power.
um, but I think the reason that I landed on this one more than anything is, first off, as with a lot of things in Star Wars, stormtroopers. I'm tired of the joke, right? I'm tired of the they can't hit anything. Stormtroopers always miss garbage that is everywhere right now because that's all people can regurgitate. I'd like to see more attention on a stormtrooper story. We saw a little bit with I can't think of the actor's name. Ben. He played the stormtrooper in Mandalorian. That was the deserter.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, yeah, that's what it was. Bill Burr's character in Mandalorian was an ex-stormtrooper, and in my opinion, had a lot more character development in the very few episodes and limited screen time that he had than several other characters in Star Wars ever got. And I would like to see more of that, and getting to see the life of an Imperial stormtrooper during the Endor emplacement and seeing the survivors afterwards and what they had to deal with, I think would be a fantastic story. And I love the image, the dark redwood forests everywhere, stormtrooper scouts moving through quietly, and having to deal with these furry little predators jumping between the tree branches and dropping logs on them. I think it would be cool to see the camaraderie between stormtroopers, the communication and technology that they got to use, and see a stormtrooper, with some decent amount of training and capability instead of Joe Schmo that doesn't know which end of the rifle the laser comes out of,
I've
stuck there to get cut down by a lightsaber.
I kind of view stormtroopers in the same way that I view Imperial Guard. Like, one
Interesting.
Imperial Guardsman is largely ineffective. 1,000 Imperial Guardsmen is a much different story.
Yep.
Like,
Well, I think that's what drew me to this story is, in 40K I main Imperial Guard. I'm Acadian, and I would like to see more attention on that kind of sci-fi military story from IPs that are well known. What do y'all think about this idea?
I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I'd definitely watch it.
No, wait. I'd watch it if they had good actors. I'd have to see
Who
the
would
cast first.
who would you like to see pop up in a cast for a stormtrooper centric story?
I don't know, man. Like John Bernthal would be cool.
Bernthal would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'll watch anything with John Bernthal at this point.
Just like because I feel like it would be like a war story at its heart, right? Like so,
Mhm.
I think that would be a good casting, something like that.
You know what? I would like to see them bring in the new James Bond that was supposedly the stormtrooper in Force Awakens.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. I'd like to see him come in as a commanding officer or some such in the story. I think that'd be a nice nod to some cool fan lore.
I actually want to see Daniel Craig come in as an absolutely crazy person
Yeah,
because
Yeah,
those are
I'm
my
fine
favorite
with
roles.
that. Yeah, he does play crazy really well.
Well, and I think a good section of the story would actually come from the fan development. So there was a lot of discussion around the Moon of Endor and the destruction of Death Star 2 that I think would be a good climax to the series, because getting a solid answer in the lore and on screen of what happened to Endor with the destruction of Death Star 2 would be nice. The current canon states that the debris and concussion and force from the destruction of Death Star 2 got intercepted before it actually reached the moon or any other planets in order to wreak the destruction that millions of kilograms of steel falling through the atmosphere would do. But I think it's kind of weak. We get a lot of stories of like hyperspace wormholes and fleet intervention and gravity manipulation in order to keep the moon, sovereign, sank like in one piece. And getting to see something on screen about how that actually went, whether it was rebel or republic propaganda and people not wanting to see the teddy bears get smushed. Um,
Going back to the casting, I think Cillian Murphy would be a cool one to see too.
ooh, yeah, that'd be fantastic, actually. So yeah, that's my pick. I actually agree with y'all's casting decisions. I was gonna bring that up, and Bones beat me to it, so good on you, Bones. But I think John Bernthal, especially if he was like a secondary, like a support to the main, the heavy gunner guy, I think would be a good spot to see him. Just get to be gruff military guy, um, and not for nothing, but just because I like it. I'd like to see, some imperial officer in charge of the unit that wasn't supposed to be there. And I mean, I guess I'm a pumpkin spice guy, right? This is just Vietnam movie, but I'd like to see the clean shirt get out into the muck and get his comeuppance while he talks trash about all the soldiers that are out there trying to do their best. But yeah, that's my pitch.
Charlie Hunnam would be another one. I think I
Oh yeah,
could see
Charlie
pick.
Hunnam's
That would be
not bad.
I think that would be a more affordable
yeah.
than some of our other casting choices. Are getting kind of pricey on that.
Yeah.
There's a show called Mr.
Bones would
In-Between.
pick Dwayne Johnson for sure.
Oh yeah,
for
Bones
sure.
is all about the Rock.
There's a show called Mr. In-Between. I can't remember it's like an Australian show. It was on FX as well. I can't remember the actor's name.
I'm looking it
but
up right now. Scott
he
Ryan.
he would be a great character. Like in Mr. In-Between, he's also like ex-military, and he does like a great job portraying that too. So I think he'd be also a great casting, and probably also
yeah.
cheaper than most of the other people we mentioned.
Well,
a lot of the
let's
people we
face it.
mentioned, yeah.
I mean, John Bernthal and Cillian Murphy, that's a huge section of the budget just right there. So, and you know what? Star Wars has a good track record with bringing in no names and little knowns in order to fill in the roles, and I wouldn't mind them doing that again for this one.
I would be willing to give the guy that played Jon Snow,
Oh,
Kit
Harington.
Kit Harington, yeah.
I'd be willing to give him a shot at this one.
Yeah, I'm still. I know it's all been canceled and uncanceled and rewritten, but I like Kit Harington. I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he does great, and I would have loved to see him as Black Knight
Black Knight.
in the movie, and so hopefully that still comes to fruition at some point. But
You want to go next, Travis, or do you want me to go next?
I'll go next. I have chosen probably my favorite book series uh, in all of Star Wars Legends or canon or whatever, and that is Rogue Squadron. Huge fan of those books, the comics,
Oh
all of it.
yeah.
That particular, it did get pretty expansive, and I will say I liked the first couple of authors that jumped in on it. Mostly Michael Stackpole, Michael Stackpole. That's his
Yeah.
name. His books were always my favorite. They were really well written. He does a very good job of describing both the on ground and in air kind of combat. It gives you a very Green Beret meets Top Gun
I think that's actually very
kind of
well put.
feel. And so yeah, it follows Wedge Antilles, Corn or not Cornhorn.
Yeah, Cornhorn.
Is Cornhorn in it?
Yeah, he's the E-wing pilot.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so if it follows them, and basically their exploits are running what is called Rogue Squadron, which is a specialized team of both commando units as well as ace pilots, all of which very, very good. I mean, nobody holds a candle to Wedge, which we don't ever see that in any of the films or shows yet. But Wedge, absolutely a beast in that X-wing. You talk about a dude
Mhm.
that is just untouched as a pilot. It does not get better than Wedge Antilles. Um,
Yeah, I think a good way to put it is that if the main Star Wars movie says a name, they said it for a reason.
yeah,
And this definitely holds true with Wedge Antilles. He's one of the best pilots that the Rebels had, the Republic had, I think, ever. And so,
he outflew Darth Vader. Like
yeah,
that's how good Wedge is. Wedge is a better pilot than a Jedi. Probably one of the best Jedi pilots ever. And Wedge, I won't say smoked him, but he did shoot him down. So that's definitely a good feather to put in that cap.
yep.
Um, I particularly like the capture for Coruscant is good. It's not my favorite of the Rogue Squadron story arcs. I'm a big fan of the Back to War.
The Back to War is pretty solid.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite arc from all of those books. Um, and so yeah, there's a whole bunch of other named characters I'm not going to get into, some of which get their own spin-offs. The big two being probably Wedge, Cornhorn, and Tycho.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
How did you forget Tycho? Come on, man,
Yeah, I know.
killing me. Um,
And see, like, I think you're absolutely right. Like the first two, maybe three novels, actually, I think would all be fantastic. Even just the novel, right? Because
yeah,
you have Rogue Squadron is very much like you said. It's Top Gun. It's all high energy jet fighting. Um,
this is definitely one that I would not option for a movie. I would definitely do this as a TV show. Because even
yeah.
if you pulled very little from the books, you could still run a pretty solid long running TV show about a group of ace pilots. This is
Hmm.
also one of the ones that I would even settle for a good animated
A good animated actually run would
good
be,
animated show. I think I would be fine with.
you know, book two, Wedge's Gamble. So that one was a hard one. If you're reading the novel series, which I heavily encourage, be aware that the X-wing novels kind of jump focus, and so Rogue Squadron was all in the cockpit, not all of it, but it was primarily in the cockpit. It was a dogfighting starfighter novel. Wedge's Gamble is the opposite. They are on the ground, boots on the ground, as a kind of urban insurgency force.
On
And
Coruscant, which is one of
on,
the
yeah,
few novels that gives you a really good look at the seedy underground that is on Coruscant.
yeah, the Imperial Coruscant.
Yeah.
Um, and so those are very, very different flavors of story. You know, it's
Yeah.
uh, it's the difference between Top Gun and Saving Private Ryan. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't go that far because Saving Private Ryan's not a good reference for what Rogue Squadron does.
yeah,
I would lean
maybe,
more towards the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. I think would be
yeah, that's
a
not
little
bad.
closer. Maybe
Yeah, I was trying to
maybe
think of
Arnold
like,
Schwarzenegger's Commando movie.
yeah, I was
Talking
trying to
about
think of
quality
like
actors, that's
Small
somebody we
Squad.
should. I want him to play a stormtrooper.
Now, if we bring in Schwarzenegger at this point, I want him to be that grizzled old like commander that's hanging out with the Mon Calamari and making calls, right? Um,
I wanted to be a radio operator. But yeah, so the Back to War covers essentially the uh, Empire is falling. They have determined that they're going to go with the scorched earth policy, so they have sabotaged and/or destroyed the majority of the supply of Bacta rogue squadrons out there, trying to run operations to secure medical aid for the budding New Republic as the last of the Imperial war generals are chased out of the system. Good reference towards other people. You kind of hear about them in passing, which is nice that they mention the big players without making the story about them.
yeah.
So you get a good nod towards like established characters, but you also get to really see people making hard choices in the Back to Wars, because there's some no-win scenarios that they get put up against. Of course, the good guys win at the end. It is a Star Wars story, so.
For those of you that are not familiar, and I'm sure this is fairly obvious at this point, but Bacta is the primary medical resource in the Star Wars universe. It's made of cultured bacteria and can wildly accelerate healing, rapid tissue regeneration.
Yeah,
It's the good stuff. So
it's the tank they put Luke in the Empire Strikes Back.
it's also the
That was a
primary
Bacta tank.
catalyst that ensures your body doesn't reject cybernetic implants. And so having
Oh,
it
I
is
forgot about that.
much needed.
Yeah. So for that one, like I said, I would probably go more for an animated one. I think it'd be easier to do an animated series as opposed to live action for Rogue Squadron, just because,
Yeah.
golly, the budget for space fighting would be big.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. Like you'd almost have to do animated if you're going to do Rogue Squadron, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
as far
if
as voice actors go, man,
Yeah.
I would have a really I have to give the nod to the greatest voice actor of all time, and Alan Tudyk would definitely be on my list to
Yeah.
be any character.
I think as far as voice actors goes, I think a couple of snags from the Critical Role
I was-
crew, Matt Mercer and Travis Willingham. I think
Travis Willingham, yeah,
would be both like great for that.
I think that would be. You know what? Lower-
Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps, also a fantastic voice actor. I would not mind picking him up for like an alien character. I think he could play pretty much any alien character very well.
Well, and you know, when it comes to like the aliens and some of the ones they encounter, especially during Wedge's Gambit, again, Critical Role cast, but Sam Riegel would be able to do some really interesting, drugged out Coruscant underworld characters. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I wouldn't hate like Laura Bailey as like a droid.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I'd be down for all of it.
But yeah, Travis Willingham is the first one that came to my mind too. Bones.
Same, but I think Matt Mercer would also do a good job.
Oh, he'd do fantastic. Absolutely. Well, especially, I mean, some of the stuff that he's most well known for is all that kind of hard-edged, gritty kind of soldiers and villains. So.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, we just have a plethora of voice actors available.
You know what? Just because he's so hot right now, I wouldn't mind seeing Walton Goggins get in on this.
I'd be down. I'd be down for anything. Sam Rockwell would be a cool one just to have voice a character too. I think he would. That would also be another one I wouldn't mind seeing in the Stormtrooper show. That,
Actually,
Ryan was talking about. I think Sam Rockwell would be a good pick.
Sam Rockwell.
Again, you're not going to break the budget either with Sam. Yeah.
And he's solid. I've never seen anything that I didn't like him in.
Yeah,
I like it. All right, let's pass the baton. Bones, what you got?
All right, well, okay. First, does it have to be Legends?
No.
Ooh, yeah, I'd say just something.
Because I do have a Legends pitch prepared. But
Bones did extra homework.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones that I'm more interested in.
Let me ask you this. Is the ones you're more interested in a comic book story?
One of them is, yes.
Oh, I got to hear that. You're a comic book guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Dr. Aphra. Like, give me a Dr. Aphra show. Like,
I'm fine with that.
Heist of the Week style, like Leverage, or like Firefly meets Leverage kind of thing, you know?
Little Warehouse 13 action.
Yeah, because that's what she does. She like steals artifacts mostly. Like a lot of what she does is Sith and Jedi artifacts. For if you're not familiar, Dr. Aphra is a character who originally is introduced in a Darth Vader comic, where he hires her to help him do a bunch of stuff without the Empire's knowledge, and she does very well.
She
Yeah,
also
and
does a
then
really good job of doing stuff without the rebellion finding out.
yeah, she's
Or
she also has a lot of enemies because she's not very trustworthy. Uh, she's a
I mean,
super gray area morally. Like Han Solo meets Indiana Jones, but with the morality of like fuck, I don't know, anybody that would take money for anything.
Yeah, it's loyal to money. I think that's the
Yeah,
best way.
yeah.
No, I
What's
think
the
that's
the Firefly reference is mercy is the mark of a great
yeah,
man. Stab. I'm a good man. Stab. People say
and
I'm okay.
well, I'm all right.
I think that you basically you have her running around with her Wookiee, uh, and they're stealing shit, and they're running from people who are trying to kill them.
Yeah, I think honestly, Dr. Aphra is some of the best written Star Wars stories I've ever read. Period. I absolutely love her stuff. I actually own 2 of them, but getting her books is complicated where I live. Um,
Getting anything's complicated where you live.
yeah, fair enough. I will say
says
that
says the guy living in the boonies. It's
yeah,
hard to get stuff up here on the very top of our
so
mountain.
nearest neighbor is like 30 miles away. I can't even find a good comic book. Um, but no, I have the most frustrating like dissonance in my head when it comes to Dr. Aphra because and I'm going to keep it spoiler free for anybody seeking to do the story. She's got 2 droids. Now these 2 droids I think are fantastic. The way they ride them is a lot of fun. They're both basically super evil geniuses that would twirl their mustaches if they had them. Um but they made them a C3PO, a 3PO unit and an R2 unit and I wish they would have diversified out of that. I don't dislike the characters. I just kind of wish they were a different series of droids instead of just
I feel
R2D2
like
and C3PO.
I feel like astromechs are like super common in Star Wars because you see
Oh
them
yeah.
everywhere. You see astromechs all over the place. So having an astromech, I'm less inclined to be like, "Bleh."
Well, and doing what she does, she needs some kind of protocol translation droid. So
So I guess the 3PO unit is fine.
what do you think, Bones?
Yeah, I mean, I just like the characters as is. I would take them as is. I think it's kind of a fun nod to Star Wars as like the foundation of Star Wars without being too much of like because I'm the same. Like I'm tired of seeing the same 3 to 6 people pop up in
Yep.
every story. Not to say that I'm tired of Jedi because I still like some Jedi stories that I would like to see. Or actually, there's some Sith stories I would like to see. I don't really give a fuck about Jedi, if I'm being honest. Uh,
33 minutes.
I said shit earlier, like
Oh,
3
did you?
minutes ago.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been watching myself. I probably broke it earlier.
But yeah, so I mean, I think it's fine to have the C3PO in the astromech.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to
To me,
change
the
it at this
astromech
point, right?
astromech makes the
Thank
most
you,
sense
dear.
because they can do a ton of stuff. Like they can break doors, they can do the computer slicing, they can transmit signals and stuff. They have a lot of like practical utility. If you're going to be a thief, it makes sense to have an astromech. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Well, again, very versatile droid.
Yeah.
And I know exactly who I would cast her as, or who I would cast
Ooh.
as her.
I wonder if we have the same pick. I pulled mine up a minute ago.
Karen Fukuhara.
Oh, that's a fantastic pick.
From The
Okay.
Boys.
From The
if you're
Boys, yeah.
unfamiliar.
Oh, that might be better than mine, actually.
Who did you pick?
So I had Lee Jun Lee pulled up from Sinners. She's also in Spider-Man Noir as Kat Hardy. Any case, yeah, I had Lee Jun Lee pulled up, but I think Karen Fukuhara is better.
I think she has like the look. She can play a very morally gray character already, like in a very morally gray, murdery place.
Yep. And she can switch between happy, funny, and then really murder you cold really quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, Bones, I think you might be right on that one.
I'd probably go Madison Who.
Madison Who's not bad.
I think that would be the budget friendly option.
I feel like Karen Fukuhara wouldn't be crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
saying-
getting a
Be
lot of
insane.
attention from the boys, but I don't know. She hasn't done a lot of like box office breaking shenanigans.
Yeah, she was in Suicide Squad. She was Katana.
Yeah, Bullet Train.
Glenn Close.
Keira Knightley,
And-
she's got
and-
range.
and I could grab Alan Tudyk as well as one of the murdery droids.
Yep, murdery little robots.
Murdery evil droid. Please make him the R2 unit, so it's just him making beeps and squats.
Well, that's kind of the
It'd
joke
be
about
like
the Wookiee,
chicken
right?
From Moana, yeah.
It's like, who do you cast as the Wookiee? I don't know, somebody over 6.5 feet tall. Like,
And I would like it to be live action. I think a miniseries.
I think
I
that
think-
would be a fine live action miniseries. I definitely picked one that could not be done live action just because it would be very complicated.
I think Afra would lend well to live action. I think they could actually go with a lot of practical effects as well. Give it kind of the Andor
Well,
Mandalorian
it's-
treatment.
Yeah, it's like it's a heist and or criminal show.
Like,
I mean, it's
every-
just grifting and yeah.
Every episode starts with her pulling up her ship pulling up on some planet or space station or something, and that's where the heist takes place.
Yeah, you got to do it very procedural, right? Like there's a flash in for the audience to like tell them exactly why she's there. You know, you watch the bad guy, take a sip of his space whiskey and talk about the new archaeological finds and holocrons and whatnot.
And you
Perfect.
wouldn't really even have to do a ton of like overarching stories. You could definitely do a lot of standalone episodic stories.
So I gotta know. Did y'all think that I was gonna go with the Yuuzhan Vong?
I did
No,
not
Yuuzhan
actually.
Vong War would be way too hard to make into a show.
Well,
I
and
think it'd be a good animated series, but
I think
animated
there are-
series I could see. Yeah.
I think there are aspects of the Yuuzhan Vong War that would make good miniseries or
Gosh, the
or
beginning was
movies.
sure good. Those novels went off the rails real fast towards
Yeah.
the end there.
I was trying to figure out the best way to try to say that, where it was like it was really good open, but
yeah. My other thought was also not actually it's not even technically a page to screen character, but I think a cool horror movie about Darth Nihilus.
ooh,
Like you never even see him in the movie, just people fucking dying around you.
that actually would be really cool, like almost like a creature feature, but inverted. That would be fantastic.
We had the lone vet saying Star Killer on screen would be sweet. I'm gonna if I'm gonna pick an actor for that, I'm going Stephen Amell.
I mean, that's who did his like mocap and stuff, right?
No, I think Mal Bennett did his mocap, but or maybe his voice. I can't remember who did the mocap, but Stephen Amell would definitely be my pick for Bendex Star Killer from the
Nah, give me Alan Richter.
Alan Richter. You're just gonna go yoked fucking Star Killer swole.
So I looked him up. Sam Witwer, who is currently voicing Maul in Shadow Lord. I think he's still got the look. I bet you could do it.
I think I'd still go Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell's a great choice. I would not be remiss with that one.
I think that's who I'm gonna lean into on that one.
If I bring up actually Bones, now that you kind of tapped the water before we get to your big main story reveal, another one that I think would be fun, but I would want to see it as like a 90-minute, 2-hour movie just for the giggles of it, and it'd have to come out at the right moment, would be Death Troopers.
He said Swole Killer.
Swole Killer.
Yes. That's
Oh,
that's
shout
the
out-
name. Swole
Shout out to
Killer.
the lone vet. So I actually have some friends of mine that watch a lot of Star Wars with me here in town, and the new Sith Lord that we got in I can't remember the name of the show.
I know what you're
twins.
talking about. Yeah. The one
The
that got
Acolyte
canceled.
is the name of the show.
Acolyte.
Acolyte.
Yeah. Whew. My brain could not get there for a minute. They started calling him Darth Arms because him swole. And I cannot get it out of my head now.
Kylo
It's just-
Chest.
Yeah, Kylo Chest. Swole Killer. I like that.
Swole Killer. He doesn't even have force powers. He's just downing creatine powder and then fucking people up.
Anyway, so Death Troopers is a 2009 novel by Joe Schreiber that was a zombie infestation of a Star Destroyer. And I think that would be a fun ride for just a one-off movie. Did it for fun, kind of run. I wouldn't want it to turn into like a series or any kind of like major franchise moment. Just more Star Wars for the fun of it. I think Death Troopers would be an interesting run.
All right, Bones, what's your main one? Hit us.
All right. As y'all know, I'm a fan of older Star Wars stuff, like Knights of the Old Republic, stuff like that. One thing that we have in the modern stories that's never really explained is the rule of two. So I could get down on a movie duology about the rise of Darth Bane.
Darth Bane,
like one film that is like his rise, the fall of the Sith army, his restructuring of everything, the creation of the Dark Brotherhood of Darkness, and then their destruction, and then probably like that'd be like the end of the first one. Film 2, like the second one, would go like him and what's her name's I want to say Zatanna, but that's obviously not it. Zana, just Zana, I think maybe.
I think it might be
his apprentice. It could be like a cool cat and mouse kind of movie where they're trying to kill each other.
Yes, Darth Zana, originally named Rain.
So that would be that would be like the one that I would actually like to get seen probably made the most.
Okay, so casting for Bane would have to be real careful. Maybe I went Keith David. You think he's too old to do Bane?
Batista also pretty old.
Yeah,
but I don't think you have to worry about picking somebody particularly young.
That's true. Bane was not a young guy. Yeah, I think I got to go Keith David. He's got the voice, and he's going to be primarily wearing mask and prosthetic anyway. So. Wild. Darth Bane would be a cool story.
Jeremy Irons. No,
I was like,
I do love Jeremy Irons. He's a fantastic actor.
I do too.
That's not the role for him.
Also, kind of get behind an Idris Elba.
Yeah, he'd do well.
What does he not do well on? Honestly, he's a fantastic actor. Like, period.
What's the fucking guy's name? Power.
Well, we all just sit here on dead air looking up actors for a minute.
Mike
Myers.
No, for me, you got to get somebody that's got the stature, that's got the walk, right? And Idris Elba would do really well with like the behaviors, because Bane was sophisticated but ruthless. I think Keith David's got the voice, but you need somebody that's, in my opinion at least, that's deep but can hold attention really well. That's why I went with Keith David. What'd you find, Bones?
Oh no, that's I think Idris Elba. The question is, who do you have play Darth Zana? And I have an answer for that.
Give me just a second, because Zana. She was with him for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I might have something here.
Who you got?
So it's the chick. I gotta look at the actress's name because I don't remember it, but it was the chick from Yellow Jackets, not the main one, not Jackie, but 1 second. Sophie Thatcher.
Sophie Thatcher. All right. I'll see your Sophie Thatcher, and I'll raise you one Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh, she would crush it too. She's got that cold demeanor.
I feel like she would
That's
be
not bad.
Sith.
That's
just
not
in general,
bad.
Honestly.
Yep.
Man, I don't know who I would pick.
I like both of those actually. Anna Taylor-Joy would do really, really well. You know what? Honestly, she did excellent as Magic and
I
had the
know that
right
movie was
demeanor.
not the greatest, but she did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, movies writing set aside, I think she did good. Yeah, we'll get into that at some point in the future. We need to do some X-Men episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
That was technically New Mutants, but anyway.
yeah.
Jessica Madsen wouldn't be bad. She's from Bridgerton. I think she could play a pretty good
I'm not
villain.
familiar with her. Jessica Madsen, you said?
Yeah, she's got like a kind of like a narrow face, and she does like a crazy-eyed stare extremely well.
Oh yeah.
I think
Okay.
that would be. I'd be okay with that.
So actually, Bones, that means you brought up the only story actually involving Jedi or Sith amongst us. So you got the only Force story going, and I think you might have found one that would intrigue me a lot.
I think I still like Bones' first pick. I think Batista would be a fantastic Darth Bane.
Maybe. I haven't seen Batista in enough roles to see if he's got the range to pull off something like that. I like him in what I've seen, but I've also seen things like what's the one he just did with Mia Jovovich, Into the Badlands, which he tried really hard to salvage.
I mean, any movie with her in it is just
Yeah, I was like, you got that
They're
was
not-
that was
they're-
not going to
you-
be a good movie to
yeah.
begin with. Like, that was.
You know, actually, on the subject of, so in preparation for my story, you know, getting ready to throw out Apocalypse Endor, I had a buddy over today. We were kind of talking about it, and we ended up watching. I wanted to find some like sci-fi Vietnam movies, and I came across one called Primitive War.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it was not bad. Like
It was
for
not-
being Vietnam with dinosaurs, like I kind of liked it.
It's not the worst movie I've seen in the last 7 days. Let me just say that.
Ooh.
Because we
That's
watched
true.
some
Yeah,
terrible
Bones watched a couple of terrible ones that were pretty bad.
Did
If you guys
y'all-
have not seen Under Paris, feel free to give that a watch.
or don't, and just feel better about your life.
Yeah.
I don't regret watching it because of who I watched it with, but
Yeah.
that would
It was
not have
fun.
been
It was a
one
fun
I'd
time while we were making fun of the movie. If I
Yeah.
had watched it alone, I'd be very sad.
Well, and that's kind of what we set up for, was just a Mystery Science Theater 3000 run, and it ended up being a really good movie. I love watching terrible movies. Actually, on the subject of, before we close out the
Hold
episode,
on,
we got about
I have another character or actor for Apocalypse Endor that I think we should consider.
what you got.
Scott Eastwood.
So I know Scott Eastwood.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's Clint Eastwood's son.
Oh yeah, he was from Gran Torino.
He's been in
Yeah,
actually quite a lot of
fantastic.
He's been in quite a bit of
things. He was
things,
in
yeah.
Fury.
Yeah, I can get down on that.
Yeah, I'd give him a nod for that. I think that would be a solid option as an actor. I would not pick him for anything that requires a ton of acting chops. Like specifically the Darth Bane thing probably wouldn't be the
We
way
got
I would go.
Scud Moore's in here with Snowpiercer. Was he in Snowpiercer?
Yes,
Oh, okay, fantastic.
The show or the movie.
show.
So we got about 10 minutes left. What is a story? I'm going to just drop this on you guys from the Star Wars universe that you think they should avoid, just to let it rest.
All of the fucking they're gods of the fucking Force,
Yeah.
and they're the
The
descendants
entities.
of fucking the Skywalkers and all that nonsense.
Yeah, I'm with Bones on that one. One of my biggest complaints.
Avoid at all costs Shadows of the Empire and Splinter of the Mind's Eye. Okay, books, they absolutely make Luke out to be the most insane, like power creeped individual
Oh, yeah.
on the planet. Which, by the way, those of you that don't know Splinter of the Mind's Eye, the whole thing, Luke falls to the dark side because a small piece of Darth Vader's helmet got into his eye.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Oh my
That's
god.
bad storytelling. That was just bad
Yeah.
storytelling.
the name was like a little bit too literal.
Yeah, that one was. Well, when I
Oh, I
first saw the
completely forgot
title
about
and
that.
I was like, oh, he has like a psychological breakdown because he's been fighting in a war since he was like 17. And then I'm reading the book and I'm like, that's not what this is about.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. So
The Lone Vet, the horror Ewok movie is definitely Apocalypse Endor. That's 100% terrifying.
I'm with the Lone Vet.
terrifying space teddy bears eating stormtroopers in the forest.
Oh yeah, I really
Fate
would.
of the Jedi. That's what I was fucking.
Fate of the Jedi, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Splinter of the
that
Mind's
shit up.
Eye and Shadows of the Empire are both like terrible.
Well, and I've been very vocal about my dislike of like magic families in Star Wars. I get the story is about legacy, right? Like that's Star Wars hyper summarized. But my God, if I get one more, oh, they're cool because they were descended from this other cool person, I'm gonna lose my Timbits. I think Rey would have been a really cool start off point as a nothing character, like from nowhere. But they had to tack on Palpatine's name to like give her gravitas when she could have done it on her own.
I mean, yeah, it
Um,
would have been kind of cooler just to have her be a random person that's like wondrously good at everything. If you're gonna do that, like a new dynasty kind of thing. But
I thought of an actor that could play Darth Bane. It's be on the pricier side, but Michael Fassbender, I think, would do a fantastic job as Darth Bane.
Okay. He doesn't have the voice I anticipated, but he's got the demeanor.
Just saying, I think that would be a cool pick.
Who else I kind of thought about would be Mads Mikkelsen. I think, but I think he would. But he's already had his Star Wars casting, even though it was brief and he died.
Yeah.
So Scudmora, I think what you're talking about is Jedi Fallen Order. They're wanting to leave that one as a video game instead of bringing it to the screen.
Agreed, 100%.
I think I can agree with that. Yeah. I think that's a good game. I liked it okay. The sequel did fine. But I think I'd like to leave that one right where it's at.
Yeah, I would leave that one alone. I would not touch the Yuuzhan Vong War, if I'm being honest, just because that got so convoluted.
I think that's what, so I think that's why they should do it, because they could do an animated series, and they could make it not ridiculous at the end.
Not make it insane. I got to say, the saddest part was honestly one of the opening books of the Yuuzhan Vong War, and that was the death of Chewbacca. That got me.
Yeah. Well, the Yuuzhan Vong, like I said, it had moments. It had some really cool moments. We've talked about them on the show before with using the Force to disguise high velocity asteroids, and I do like the concept of an organic technology race. I think my biggest gripe about doing the Yuuzhan Vong would actually be that we don't need to go outside our galaxy yet. Like, we have 57 planets that we've gone to, most of them for less than 10 seconds. And I don't think we need to leave the primary galaxy for a new antagonist as of yet. I also 100% agree with Bones. Every time a show or comic book or novel tries to personify the Force, I hate it. I can't stand it. I hate having this gray father Force and his angry son and daughter light side and dark side Force who always fight, and it bothers me.
I don't have a problem with the concept of Force gods, but when you try to anthropomorphize them, just leave me out of that, please.
Yeah. Well,
I want them to be these never seen. They exist. Who cares? They influence things, right? But we never get any direct contact with them.
Well, and that all this kind of to summarize where my pick was at. I'm going to go a little broad and wide-reaching like you did, Bones. I don't want to see them bring in any of the Skywalker or Solo children from the novels.
You don't want
if you do a Yuuzhan Vong War, you're going to have to. You're going to have to bring them in because they're core players for Yuuzhan Vong War.
I think you just ignore them. Just ignore them. They never existed.
Just have them doing stuff in the background and follow a different group.
No, I'd have them not exist. I really would. I would have the Yuuzhan Vong, if I was going to do it, have the Yuuzhan Vong come in just like they did and do all the Yuuzhan Vong stuff just like they did. And if they don't exist in the universe, someone else will step up to take their place. I think that they were wildly overpowered for no reason. I don't think that having name legacy in the Star Wars universe is relevant.
Power creep.
And I don't think they were good stories. And I know that's going to be a hot take.
Happens to us all.
Yeah.
We could. They basically did the Legacy of the Force, books, because that's basically what they did with Kylo Ren, but less, I guess.
Kylo Ren got done dirty in the movies. God, he was
Because it's
Yeah.
Jason
Waste-
Solo, and yeah.
wasted potential. Who would you
Uh,
cast as the Solo children?
I know you gotta have the
I don't
twins
know.
too, right? Jason and Jaina, if you're gonna actually do it, but they've already
Mhm.
ruined that, so they're not going to now.
Well, and Skywalker's old lady would be a cool story.
Mara Jade,
Mara Jade, I think would be a fantastic. If I was going to do a Sith story, right? Mara
Assassin
Jade
of
would be
the
a good one.
Empire. That would be a good one. Yeah, Mara Jade.
Give me the
Um,
destruction of Mandalore.
Ooh, the Mandalorian Wars would
That
be
would be a good one.
fantastic.
That would be a good. Destruction Mandalore would be good.
That's where
That would actually be really good.
And then in a few like I don't know, movies or something from that, then we get Darth Nihilus.
Yeah.
We could actually, if we were doing Old Republic,
You could go a ton of movies back and go, or like a ton of years back in the story and go the first Mandalorian War.
I was about to bring up the same thing. Yeah.
That would be a real good one.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. All right, guys. Well, at this point, we're closing up on our end time. If y'all have listened this far into the episode, obviously you will like what you're hearing. If that is the case, we're going to humbly ask you to give us a like, give us a follow, and tell your friends about us so that they can listen to our dulcet tones talk about controversial geek topics as well. The best way to support the channel, guys, is to buy some merch. The link will be attached somewhere on the screen.
Yeah, Eric's gonna be in charge of that when he gets internet
yeah.
back. I don't know how to do any of that.
I don't know how to do any of it. The new merch line is coming out for the summer, guys. It's good stuff. We have excellent quality coming through with our new logos. Highly recommend it. But if you're feeling especially generous, again, give us a follow because we know the way.
Yeah, like, follow, share, subscribe, all the fun algorithm things. And with that, we're going to bring this episode to a close. We're crossing the Nerdverse, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for joining us.
See you guys.
I'm not going to sing this time. I'm just leaving.
You have the button, so.
That's right. I'm going to press it now. Bye.